Time to break out the world's smallest violin. Because neo-Nazi organizer Richard Spencer is not having a good day. In fact, he's having a bad day, a very bad week, perhaps even a bad year. Hasn't been his day, his week, his month, or even his year. But no one's there for him. So now, this is according to a New York Times article published last week. Spencer not doing so well in his hometown of Whitefish. Now, this is in Montana, and they say, these are leaders in Whitefish, Mr. Spencer once ran his National Policy Institute from his mother's $3 million summer house, is now an outcast in this resort town in the Rocky Mountains, unable to get a table at many of its restaurants. The organization dissolved. Meanwhile, his wife has divorced him, and he is facing trial next month for Charlottesville, Virginia, over his role in the deadly 2017 neo-Nazi march, but says he cannot afford a lawyer. Aww. That's rough, buddy. Sad. So now, the Times details how Spencer and his former wife had gotten into dispute with a real estate agent named Tanya Gersh. This is regarding a commercial property in downtown Whitefish owned by Spencer's mother, Sherry Spencer, publishing a media post falsely using Sherry Spencer's name in December 2016, accusing Gersh of attempting to blackmail Sherry Spencer into selling the property. The result, of course, of those accusations, which were not true, were horrifying for Gersh. As a result of all this, she got harassment and threats. Andrew Anglin, the founder of the neo-Nazi website Daily Stormer, had launched an anti-Semitic hate campaign against her that included doxing her personal information. Anglin's readers sent Gersh hundreds of calls, text messages, and emails, even Christmas cards with threatening messages. Now, of course, she might be Jewish. And they also targeted other Whitefish residents who were Jewish or whom they just thought had Jewish-sounding names. So, not a surprise. It's the Daily Stormer, of course. So now the town was not thrilled with the antics of Mr. Spencer and all the disgusting hatred aimed towards Gersh, as well as the local Jewish community, which stepped up to do some counter hate rallies, which is great. For one, they supplied thousands of paper menorahs that people put up in their windows of the residents' home over the Hanukkah season, which is nice. And an anti-hate rally drew 600 attendees, even in the 0-degree weather. And another community unity and appreciation event organized by Rabbi Francine Green Roston of the Glacier Jewish Community B'nai Shalom congregation served 350 people matzo ball soup. I've never had that. In response, Anglin's followers said, "Oh yeah, we're going to do a counter rally in Whitefish. We're going to do it on MLK Day 2017." You know how many people showed up? 0. None. Nobody showed up. Oh, sad. Oh, so these little keyboard warriors were too afraid to actually show their faces in public. They're so tough in their little anonymous message boards, aren't they? When they're doxing people and spreading just vile, disgusting hatred. And that is until, of course, they face the consequences of their behavior. Gersh actually ended up filing a lawsuit against Anglin for invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and violations of Montana's Anti-Intimidation Act. She ended up winning $14 million in damages. Gersh's attorneys have been searching for Anglin and any assets he may have to pay the damage. And Anglin and Spencer are also among several named defendants in a lawsuit filed by victims and counter-protesters at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, where a neo-Nazi drove his car into a crowd, killing, of course, Heather Heyer and injuring 19 others. Oh, it gets better. So now, I mentioned Spencer doesn't have an attorney anymore. Why? Well, because he hasn't gotten paid. He withdrew from the case last year because no money. Oh no, Spencer ain't got the monies. He got the monies. Sad. Spencer also complained that being deplatformed off Twitter because he was kicked off for hatred in 2016 made it hard for him to raise money and has been representing himself since then. You know, it's funny, like that little tidbit right there is actually one of the best cases for deplatforming Nazis I've ever seen. See, look, here's the thing. I don't care about, if you're a neo-Nazi, you're a Nazi. I don't care about your free speech. You know why? Because they want me and other people that I care about dead. They do. I got no interest in allowing them to preach hatred to their audience of brain-dead chuds. And by the way, what they also do, which is so insidious, is that they target vulnerable teen boys for recruitment online through various mediums, social media, video games, etc., and to try to turn them down into that alt-right pipeline, which of course leads to becoming a neo-Nazi. We don't really want that to happen. Less neo-Nazis is a good thing. Less Nazis in general. And so, and here's the thing, right? These people like Spencer, that's what they are, is just emotionally damaged children. Oh, it's the feminism, it's the SJWs, it's the black people, it's the Jewish people. It's why I can't get ahead. It's always someone else's fault. No, it's not, because you're a loser. You're a sad little boy. That's what Richard Spencer is. And Whitefish residents have been making their feelings quite clear about Spencer. Whenever he shows up, wants to go to a local restaurant, he gets booed, chased out the door. Why? Well, because nobody wants to deal with that kind of asshole. And I think that's fantastic. So Roston told the Times, quote, Richard Spencer wanted this to be a happy vacation place where he could play and have fun, and people would just live and let live. Then he started suffering social consequences for his hatred. And you know what? I'm 100% okay with neo-Nazis suffering personal consequences for their actions and their ideology. It's delicious. I love it. I love to see life punching bad people in the face. Not literally, of course. I'm against violence. I don't condone violence. I'm against violence. I mean this, of course, in a metaphorical sense. But while I'm watching this, I'm here sipping my milkshake. I'm eating my soup, you know, the soup from a family. And I'm going to laugh my ass off. And I think any proud, real American is hopefully doing the same at this lowlife's fall from prominence and grace. Good fucking riddance. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.